Welcome back to English Plot Twist. This is your premium space to master the fluent, elite American English you have always dreamed of. Forget dry grammar rules. Here, we activate your vocabulary and pronunciation naturally through highly addictive, cinematic stories. If you are ready to elevate your skills and unlock your ultimate confidence, sit back and listen closely. The Sound of Silence. Ethan was a 35-year-old defense attorney in New York City. He was incredibly wealthy, highly successful, and famous for winning the most difficult cases in court. However, Ethan had a major flaw. He loved the sound of his own voice, but he never actually listened to anyone else. In the courtroom, he would loudly interrupt witnesses. At home, he would constantly talk over his wife and children. He believed that the loudest person in the room was always the smartest, and that listening was a sign of weakness. One Monday morning, after a long, exhausting speech in front of a judge, Ethan suddenly felt a sharp pain in his throat. By afternoon, he could not make a single sound. He rushed to the hospital, where a doctor examined him and delivered a shocking diagnosis. Ethan had a temporary vocal cord injury. He was strictly forbidden from speaking, whispering, or making any noise for exactly 7 days. Ethan was terrified. How could a powerful lawyer survive a whole week without talking? The first 2 days were absolute torture for him. He sat in his office, unable to shout orders at his assistants. He sat at the dinner table, unable to control the conversation. But by the 3rd day, a strange transformation began to happen. Because he could not speak, Ethan was forced to do something he had never done before. He began to observe. He looked at his assistant's face and noticed, for the first time, deep lines of exhaustion. He actually read her expressions and realized she was completely overworked. Instead of writing a demanding note, he bought her a warm cup of coffee and wrote a simple text. "Thank you for your hard work. Please go home early today." The assistant looked up, her eyes wide with shock and gratitude. That evening at home, Ethan sat quietly on the couch. Instead of interrupting his teenage son to give advice, he just sat and listened to the boy talk about his day. He noticed the slight tremble in his son's voice and realized the boy was dealing with intense bullying at school. Because Ethan remained silent and open, his son felt safe enough to cry and share his deepest fears. By the end of the 7 days, Ethan's voice finally returned. He went back to the courtroom, but he was a completely changed man. He no longer shouted or interrupted. Instead, he listened to every single word the opposing side said, finding the hidden flaws in their arguments by using their own words. He won the case effortlessly.